The US Justice Department released last week some 3 million internal documents relating to disgraced pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The files revealed Epstein's deep involvement with prominent figures in politics, finance, academia, and business. He obtained advance notice of a €500 billion bailout by the EU to save the euro in 2010. He had information indicating that Russia tipped off Turkey's Erdogan about a coup in 2016. He worked as a fixer for former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak and arranged unofficial meetings between Barak and former Qatari Prime Minister Hamad bin Jassim. And in 2017, in emails with a Kuwaiti professor and former cabinet minister named Anas al-Rashid, Epstein seemed to be pushing for a meeting between Qatar's Hamad bin Jassim and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman at the height of the Qatar diplomatic crisis. And the list goes on and on. So how did Epstein go from being a math and physics teacher with no college degree to becoming an influential financier with deep ties to ambassadors, world leaders, and media moguls? His intelligence ties go back decades and are defined by key figures in his life. In 1981, Epstein met Douglas Leese during a trip to the UK. Leese was an aristocratic British arms dealer who, according to the New York Times, mentored Epstein and took him to meetings with British and international elites. Leese was involved in the sale of arms to Iran during the Iran-Iraq War, and he brokered the UK's largest ever arms deal, the sale of British fighter jets to the Royal Saudi Air Force. Around that same time, Epstein met and partnered with former US Department of Justice official John Stanley Pottinger in advising wealthy clients on tax avoidance strategies. Pottinger was also involved in the shipment of US-made weapons to Iran, the profits from which were used by the US to fund the anti-communist Contras militia in Nicaragua. Later on, around 1990, Epstein met Robert Maxwell when he was dating his daughter, Ghislaine Maxwell. Robert was a billionaire press baron, a former intelligence officer for the British Army, and a staunch defender of Israel, who was believed to have links with the MI6, the Mossad, and the KGB. In one email, Epstein writes that Robert Maxwell worked for the Mossad and threatened to disclose the spy agency's operations unless he was paid $400 million to save his crumbling media empire. Another key figure in Epstein's network is Jewish-American billionaire businessman and ardent supporter of Israel, Les Wexner. In 1991, Wexner hired Epstein to manage his vast fortune and later on accused him of stealing some $46 million from him. As Epstein's network widened, so did the scope of his influence on politics and business and intelligence. With his focus on the Middle East seemingly continuing right up until his death in 2019, more than 10 years after he was formally charged with procuring minors to engage in prostitution.